RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.
And a pleasant good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bethalto Civic Memorial High School. In fact, the home of the Civic Memorial Eagles. And by all indications, we should have an outstanding football game for you this evening as we get ready for Week 5 of our high school season. It's the Civic Memorial Eagles against the Waterloo Bulldogs. And the crowd making some noise, and it's a big crowd here on homecoming weekend. And the ball is in the air, and it's going to be taken at the one. Actually, it's going to sail into the end zone. The back receiver, the deepest one, was going to reach up for it and then decided not to. He was standing at the 1-yard line. The ball goes into the end zone, and so it'll be a touchback, and Waterloo will have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Brown does such a good job of kicking off the tee on the kickoffs. I've seen him get into the end zone at least a half a dozen times in the few games I've seen this year. It's always a good job of the special teams unit to be able to play the field position game for the defense.
The quarterback for Waterloo is Brian Schaub. The power back in the backfield is Zach Laidley, and Shelby Culpepper is the one to watch for when it comes to speed, and somebody saw something. I think somebody moved as a flag flies, and I think we're going to have illegal procedure, and we do, against Waterloo, and that'll move them back 5 yards and put them on the 15. Not the way they wanted to start here this evening.
No, absolutely not. You don't want to give up free yards, especially on the first play of the game, bringing them back 5. So it's going to put them in a little bit of a hole, but the Eagle defense will take it. And let's see if the back that averages 9.2 yards a carry can help them out here.
Schaub under center, calling the signals, and he gives it. He's going to roll out. He does give it straight ahead to Laidley, and he's going to get maybe 2 yards on the play as they tried running off tackle to the right, and CM defended that pretty well and stuffed everything up. A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, good job by the Eagle defense there, just collapsing at the line of scrimmage, really holding him to minimal gain. He's a big fullback, listed at 6'1", 215, and it's rare that they actually look bigger than they're listed, but this kid looks like a beast from up in the booth.
Quarterback did a good job of selling that rollout after giving the handoff as well. And this time they give it straight ahead, and stuff behind the line is Laidley. A couple of CM players in the backfield, and they're going to move him all the way back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, good job by the linebacking core to get in there on the blitz, getting gap responsibilities, and they just blew that play up in the backfield and really forcing the Bulldogs into a 3rd and long situation here. They're going to almost have to go to the air.
So it'll be 3rd and 15 from the 15, just across the 15. And from the shotgun, Schaub's going to throw it. He does, over the middle, overthrown and almost intercepted. And Waterloo's going to have to punt here on their first set of downs. They don't throw the ball much. Schaub is only 17 of 55 on the season, make it 17 of 56 now with that incompletion. And the Eagles should get the ball in good field position.
Good job by the defense there, just staying relaxed in their coverage, not allowing receivers to get behind the DBs. Not great pressure, but just enough to get Schaub to force it a little bit high for the intended receiver. And the Eagles, as you said, should have great field position after this.
The punt is in the air. It's a really good kick. It's going to be taken at the 40, make it the 38 of the Eagles, and across the 45 and pulled down at about the 46-yard line is the return man. And so the Eagles will start their first set of downs from near midfield.
Good return that time by Desmond Woods, the return man. They had 2 guys deep. He fielded it and got about a good 10 or 12 yards on the return to get it close to midfield there. And cornerback doing a good job in the return game.
So the Eagles come off the sideline, and they run the no-huddle spread offense, and right up to the field they go. Tobin is the quarterback. Brown, the lone back in the backfield, trips to the far side. Tobin's going to throw it to Brown in the flat, and he throws it incomplete, unless they call that. They do call it a forward pass. It was in the backfield area, but he was throwing the ball forward, so it's incomplete. And it looked like that time Brown maybe just tried to run with it before he caught it.
Yeah, he had a little bit of pressure coming in there. The Bulldogs, a lot of movement before the snap there, trying to confuse Tobin in the offensive line. Linebackers showing blitz a lot and then backing up just before the snap. They know the Eagles like to go to the air, so they don't want to get caught into a blitz that's going to burn them.
A lot of man-to-man coverage out there right now. It's 2nd and 10 for the Eagles from their own 47-yard line. Tobin's going to throw it again. He drops back, and now he's going to pull it down and try to run. He's tripped up. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll be no gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
I mentioned Tobin not afraid to pull it down and run when nothing's open downfield, and that's what he tried to do there. Really couldn't get much but get back to the line of scrimmage, but you mentioned the man coverage by the Bulldogs. The Eagles will take that all game long.
On 3rd down from the shotgun, now the Eagles look to the sideline to get the signal. Now they have the play, and they're ready to go. Tobin takes the snap, drops back, throws it across the middle, and it's complete. And that'll be down near the 30-yard line. I think that was Sept on the reception, and a first down CM.
Tobin's favorite target, number 1, Matt Sept, runs that post pattern, that intermediate post route, about as good as you can find on the high school level. Just takes a nice cut, gets good separation from the cornerback, and Tobin hits him in stride for a nice gain.
23 yards and a first down for the Eagles. The ball at the 31-yard line. And Tobin's going to keep it and try to get the corner. A flag flies. He's hit, knocked out of bounds at about the 25. Let's see where the flag is laying. It's in that area of offensive holding, but let's see what the call is.
I think it might be false starter offsides. We had a receiver moving just before the snap.
Actually, I think they had too many players on the field from the looks of that call. And that'll be marked off from where the flag was, and I think the flag was right at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Eagles, and we'll make it 1st and 15.
Well, you hate to hurt yourself like that, bringing it back 5 yards, but not too big of a deal for CM. They're able to make up 5 yards pretty easily in the passing game.
The ball at the 36-yard line of Waterloo. They're going to throw it in the flat again. Another flag flies. Brown with the catch, and he gets down to about the 32, let's call it, and let's see what this flag is. And that might be holding. Now they're going to call another illegal shift, it looks like, against the Eagles, and that's 2 in a row.
I wonder if it had to do with Brown's motion in the pre-snap. He was set up to the right of Tobin and started to motion away, which I like the idea. It really kind of allowed him to catch the ball as he's on the run, but he may have taken a step forward, which would be the infraction, but that's the only thing I could see of it. He was the only one moving in the pre-snap, so
it's another 5 yards, which will move it back to the 41-yard line. And it'll be 1st, that's the good news, and 20. That's the bad news. Eagles in the shotgun again.
You don't want to give up 5 yards. The 10 is too much.
Brown's going to run, try to get to the corner, and he's hit, won't get outside. He'll get back just to the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 20.
Tough goings in the first series here for the Eagles. They had a nice 23-yard gain from pass from Tobin to Sept, but the running game is struggling a little bit in the early goings. The offensive line's got to open up some holes.
And it looks like they're just playing a 3-man line on defense. The 3-4 with the 4 backers, although one now comes down and now backs out. They're showing a lot of different looks.
Trying to confuse Tobin,
who has the ball, who throws a screen, and it's complete to Brown. He's across the 40, 45, and thrown down there. That's a gain of 5, maybe 6, depending on where they spot it. And it's going to be third and about 16, it looks like.
And they have a bit of a chess match here between these two teams. The Eagles, who of course run the no-huddle offense, always having their play calls come in from the sideline, can change their play 2 or 3 times before the snap. So the movement up front by the Bulldogs could play into the hands of CM, could cause some matchup problems.
Third and long for the Eagles. They're going to put it in the air. No, they're not. Tobin's going to try to run it. Now he throws it out in the flat. It's complete to Brown, and he's going to be near first down, and I think he got it as he fell forward to the 20 on a busted play. I think the Eagles have picked up a first down.
What a play there. Great job by Tobin to keep his head up and keep his eyes on his receivers. Brown in the flat there. Tobin was on his way down and just flips it over the defender's head. And Brown makes a couple of moves and makes a huge run for a first down. That was about as big a play as you could find in the first quarter of any high school football game.
Boy, Tobin was in trouble when he started to run with it and had the presence of mind to see Brown out there in the flat wide open and gave it to him. Now they hand off to Brown, running to the left side, across the 20, still on his feet, and down to about the 18-yard line.
And the Bulldogs may get a heavy dose of Tanner Brown here tonight just to keep the defense honest, if nothing else. Even if the running game doesn't produce a lot of numbers, they'll at least keep that secondary from and the linebackers from playing off the line of scrimmage and really making Tobin work in the passing game.
Second down and 8 yards, and now an official calls timeout as we have an equipment problem, or a helmet problem with one of the Waterloo players. He's shaking it like it's got rocks in it or something. Whatever was in there, he got it out now. We're ready to play. 7:18 left to go in the first quarter. No score. Eagles threatening a bit here. They're inside the 20. Tobin looks over, gets the play call from the sideline. Brown now moves from the left side of Tobin to the right side. And from the shotgun, Tobin takes the snap, fakes it to Brown, and throws it to Linton, and he is going to move inside near the 10-yard line. That's going to be a gain of only about, that's going to be close to first down yardage.
Yeah, that's a play they run with Linton quite a bit. I'm sure we'll see it 2 or 3 more times or more here tonight. It's just a little play-action fake. They fake the handoff to Brown. Linton comes around on a little bubble screen on the inside there. It's almost like an extension of the running play for the Eagles. And Linton picks up. Looks like he does pick up.
Just enough for the first down. We'll give him 7 on the pickup. And from here, it's hard to tell, but it looks like the Eagles can get a first down without a touchdown if the ball appears to be just outside the 10.
Yeah, I think if they get down to the 1, that'll give them a first down.
Tobin's going to run it straight up the middle. He's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown, Civic Memorial!
Nice replay that time by Tobin. Instead of giving the handoff to Tanner Brown, he keeps it with a wide-open hole up the middle, and he really likes to do that in those goal line situations when they're inside the 10 or closer to the goal line. They run that mesh running play, and it's almost wide open for the quarterback every time up the middle because the defense is keying on the halfback. So the Eagles take an early lead here, and excited crowd here at CM.
And the point after is good off the foot of Brown. And so, with 6:21 left to play in the first quarter, the Eagles strike first. It's CM 7, Waterloo nothing. This is 1570 Radio Sport.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
The Eagles set to kick off after getting the first touchdown on the board here this evening. They lead it 7-0, and Brown, who kicked it into the end zone to start the game, will put the boot to it again. And man, did he kick this one out of sight. This one is halfway into the end zone and bounces out of the end zone. There was no doubt about that from the time that ball went into the air.
Yeah, the return man just threw his hands up in the air as if to say, oh, we're not getting this one. So the field position game continues for the Eagles, and Tanner Brown with that big foot may come in useful if we get into a tight ball game in the later stages. Could come down to a field goal, and looks like he's got a big enough boot to at least kick one from 35, 40 yards away.
On 1st and 10 from the 20, Schaub hands it off to Culpepper, and he's hit in the backfield and thrown down for a loss of about 4 on the play.
Nice tackle by Michael Shasheen there, coming in on run support, and the Eagle defense fired up here in the first quarter, really controlling the line of scrimmage on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball, but the running game for the Bulldogs slow getting started here tonight.
It's early, of course, but so far 3 carries for -4 yards for the high-powered running attack of the Waterloo Bulldogs.
A lot of movement by the Eagle linebackers.
And this time they're going to throw as Schaub's going to roll out to his right, and he throws, and it's complete at the 20. Still on his feet to the 25, and then falling forward to about the 28. We'll have to see who that was that caught that football. They don't throw much. Looked like number, was it 11 maybe?
Yeah, it was. That's Ellie Snodgrass.
Or was it 31 Kaufman? Maybe it was Kaufman. Anyway, it's a gain of about 12 on the play, and it'll set up 3rd and 3. So a chance for the Eagles to stop him. A fumble on the snap, and Schaub just falls on it. Back at the 25-yard line. That'll be a loss of 2. Loss of 3, actually, and it'll set up 4th down now and about 6.
Yeah, really just a bad snap there between the center and quarterback. Something happened on the exchange, and Bulldogs lucky they didn't turn the ball over there, but the Eagles a chance for good field position again. And unless the Bulldogs are thinking of gambling with some kind of a fake punt, which I would not recommend in the early goings here.
They are going to kick it away, and they do. And this one's a little bit shorter, but gets a good bounce. It hits near the 45 and rolls out of bounds down at the 34. So about 11 extra yards on the bounce, and the Eagles will have it at the 34-yard line, their own. 1st and 10, leading by a score of 7-0 with 4:16 left to go here in the first quarter.
And the Eagles offense set to take their second series, looking to extend the lead a little bit here. And I'm sure the Eagles are aware that the Bulldogs have came back in 4 straight games, so they want to make it as tough as possible for them to do that here tonight.
And Tobin's going to throw it in the flat to Brown again. He's across the 35 and goes still on his feet and gets out near the 40 as he just kept the legs moving. Looked like he was down, and then the pile moved another 2 yards.
Yeah, Brown running very aggressive here tonight. I like the attitude he's running with, and I like this play. It's something that I think the Eagles have put new into their playbook, where they motion Brown and just kind of hit it to him in a swing pass. That way he catches it while he's already on the move and allows him to get to top speed a little faster and get an extra couple of yards.
They're going to throw it again, this time deep, and right in the hands of the receiver who dropped the football. It was a perfect pass, and Taylor Emmerich dropped it.
Yeah, it went right off his fingertips. Really, I mean, there was a defender there, but he had him by a good step and a half, and had he reeled that one in, that would have been 6. I got no doubt about that. And Tobin, you just got to shake that one off sometimes. You just can't bring him in.
Come right back with it again. He's still got single coverage out there, and he had burned the defender by a couple of yards. It's 3rd and 4. And they are going to throw, this time the slant, and it could have been pass interference, no call. The intended receiver was Shasheen, and he had a defender hanging all over him, and the pass is incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down, and the Eagles, even though they're at their own 40-yard line, don't look at all like they're going to punt unless they're going to try to pull Waterloo offside here.
Yeah, the Eagles very rarely gun-shy about going for it on 4th down, especially in a 4th and 5. It's a pretty manageable situation for them.
And they're going to do that quick kick as they snap it back to Tobin, and now he kicks it. There's nobody down there to catch it. It hits at the 25 and rolls dead just outside the 20. So that's where Waterloo will take it, just outside their own 20-yard line with 3:20 left to go here in quarter number 1, and the Eagles have a 7-0 lead.
So pretty quick series for the Eagle offense that time. The Bulldogs doing a good job defensively to contain Brown and the wide receivers, but that drop pass may come back to haunt them a little bit, but good field position again for the Eagle defense, pinning the Bulldogs back inside their own 30, inside their own 25 actually, or right on it. Make that to 20.
So it'll be 1st and 10 again for Waterloo. And they give the pitch, running to the right side and picking up some good yardage out near the 30. That's a gain of, it's Culpepper with the carry, and it's a gain of about 8, it looks like.
And that's one of their speed guys there. That's one thing you don't want to do, is allow him to get out into open space and break one taking it to the house. So good job by the Eagle defense. Didn't give up the 1st down, but was able to contain him and keep him wrapped up.
Schaub under center. 2nd and 2 from his own 28-yard line. And they pitch it to Culpepper, who cuts it across the middle. He gets to the 30, but he's hit short. He had to get just across the 30 for 1st down yardage. And it looked like he had the hole, and then the hole disappeared, and it's going to be 3rd and about a yard after the 1-yard pickup.
A good job by the Eagle defense there to close that hole just as soon as it opened up to minimize the gain for the running back. So big 3rd down here for the Eagles, getting close to 2 minutes in this first quarter. And really, for an Eagle game, only 7 points in the first quarter is low scoring.
We played, as you mentioned, almost a whole quarter, and Waterloo yet to get a 1st down. They'll have it now as they give it to Laidley, and he's got a big hole, and now a burst of speed. Ran pretty well for a big guy across midfield, across the 45, and down to the Eagles' 44-yard line.
Yeah, that is what they call downhill running right there. Just hits the hole and boom, takes off. No cutting, no dancing, just downhill running north and south, and he picks up a big gain there. And they get their way into Eagle territory, and the Bulldogs may have picked up a little momentum here after that 3rd down conversion.
That's a 25-yard gain for Zach Laidley. Now it's Culpepper trying to get around the corner. Gets past one man. He's hit and drags a guy forward. Gets across the 40 down near the 37. That's going to be a gain of about 7. Culpepper that time had the long side of the field to work with. He almost got pulled down in the backfield, but avoided that tackle and picked up 7.
Yeah, he stiff-armed Michael Shasheen in the backfield there and got back to the line of scrimmage and able to pick up a handful of yards or a little more than, and pretty solid run by Culpepper that time. So
the best drive of the game so far for the Waterloo Bulldogs. 2nd and 3. And they give it to Culpepper off tackle. Actually, a kind of a misdirection play across the 30 and down near the 26. That's going to be an 11-yard pickup and good for another 1st down.
Yeah, a little misdirection there, inside handoff. They play fake to the man in motion who's moving away and give an inside handoff to Culpepper up the middle, and a nice big hole open for him, and he's able to pick up the 1st.
And the ball at the CM 26-yard line. This might be the final play of the first quarter. 1st and 10 for Waterloo. They're going to throw it. They're going to just throw it up there, and it is caught, I believe. No, they're going to say out of bounds. It was caught, but out of bounds. That was just that little fade pass. They just throw it up there and let the receiver go up and get it. And he made the catch, but the pass was out of bounds.
Yeah, Bulldog quarterback Brian Schaub little sloppy in his drop back there, not very good footwork, and he pump faked a little bit. I think he maybe rushed the throw a little bit. You know, a team that's not used to dropping back a whole bunch, probably not as comfortable as, say, someone like the Eagles who really likes to air it out when they drop back.
And they're going to run the option to the near side of the field here. They give it to Laidley, and he's out of bounds as he gets a couple of yards, and he'll be knocked out. They're going to actually mark it down near the 20, so that's going to be a gain of about 6.
Well, the Eagles doing a good...
That was Klein on the carry, not Laidley also.
The Eagles doing a good job of containing those speed backs for the Bulldogs. Obviously, you know, minimal gains are ideal, but, you know, these guys who are averaging, you know, 8 and 9 yards a carry are going to get their 4 and 5 yard chunks. So just got to be patient and not over pursue, and make sure you wrap up and bring them to the ground when you get an opportunity to tackle.
And they're going to go straight ahead with Culpepper. He started to go to the outside, cut it back in, gets down to the 15. That's going to be good for a first down. That's a 5-yard pickup. And a first down for Waterloo, who's now starting to move the football on the ground. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. The siren sounds after one period here in Bethalto. Civic Memorial leads Waterloo by a score of 7-0, but the Bulldogs will have it on the Eagles' 15-yard line, 1st and 10, when we come back for quarter number 2. This is 1570 Radio Sports.
I'll grab the birthday cake. You bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
Do you want a lower house payment without having to move? Olin Community Credit Union has made refinancing easy for you. With their online mortgage center, you can view current rates, apply online, sign up for Rate Watch, or contact one of Olin Community Credit Union's mortgage representatives. What are you waiting for? Call 618-258-3168 or visit online at www.olincreditunion.org to access their online mortgage center, where you can apply and receive an answer anytime, anywhere.
And the Eagles take the kickoff following the 32-yard field goal, and going down near the 24-yard line is the Eagle receiver. The field goal was good. It was Aaron Aycock with the 32-yard field goal attempt. And now after the kickoff, the Eagles will have it, leading 7-3 at their own 24-yard line.
And the Eagles in the first couple of series, particularly the first series that they were able to score on, did a good job of a balanced offense, with mixing in the run with the pass, really controlling the clock. And that's probably something they want to continue to do here tonight, just to keep the ball out of the Bulldogs' hands.
Tobin, the quarterback, from the shotgun. Single coverage all over the field. He drops the snap. Now he's in trouble, and he's going to be dropped himself near the 20-yard line, maybe a little inside the 20, depending on where they spot it. It's going to be a loss of 4, it looks like, and it'll set up 2nd and 14. It didn't look like a bad snap. It looked like he just dropped the football.
Yeah, he kind of twisted to his left. Tanner Brown, the running back, was lined up there, and it really just kind of looked like it may have bounced off Tobin's hand and then got confused with him.
Now he's going to throw long down the sidelines and just overthrew the receiver, just out of the diving grasp of Taylor Emmerich. That was the play they tried to connect on going the other direction in the first quarter, and Emmerich dropped it. That time it was just a little bit overthrown by Tobin.
Yeah, Tobin with nice touch on it, got nice air underneath it, but just maybe 3 or 4 feet too long. Emmerich doing a good job of trying to lay out and reel it in, but unable to do so.
So it'll be 3rd and 14 now for the Eagles at their own 20-yard line. Tobin takes the snap from the shotgun. Looking over the middle of the field, throws a wobbly pass, and it probably should have been intercepted. It was off the hands of Shashin and was deflected right into the hands of one of the Bulldogs, who couldn't come up with it, and the Eagles may have caught a break there. And now they'll have to kick the football away, and Brown is in to do the punting.
Yeah, Dalton Kaufman, the safety on the play there, in and out of his hands. I'm sure he's wishing he could have that one back, but the Eagles catch a break and get a chance to punt the ball away. And when we were expecting to see maybe an offensive battle between an air attack and a ground attack, we're seeing a defensive battle instead so far here in the first half.
Brown set to kick. He'll put the foot into it at about his own 10-yard line. It's a good punt, heading towards the sidelines and going out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And now they'll put it at the 40 because that's the closest line that the official can see that goes all the way across the field. So they'll put it at the 40, and that's where Waterloo will have it, 1st and 10. Waterloo lost a yard on that one for sure.
The Eagle defense needs to do a good job of just doing what they've been doing. Linebackers doing a good job moving from sideline to sideline, wrapping up the ball carrier, not allowing them to get those second effort yards.
On 1st and 10, they give it to Culpepper, and he's going to be hit for a loss on the play. Looks like back to the 39. But who knows, they might put it back on the 40. It's right halfway in between right now. Call it a loss of 1 on the play, and we really haven't had a chance to see Shelby Culpepper's speed, as he's not had many opportunities to really get around the corner.
Well, that's one strength of this Eagle defense in the linebacking core is their speed. They're able to get sideline to sideline really well, and it really can kind of negate those plays to the outside, the sweeps and counters to the outside. So linebackers need to continue to play well and contain Culpepper.
2nd down and 11, and they give the pitch coming right towards us. I think that's Klein. It is. He goes out of bounds at about midfield and now crosses midfield, and that's going to be good for a 1st down. That's a pickup of 12 on the play.
That was Kaufman, actually. Dalton Kaufman, number 31 on the carry that time. And, he's pretty decent gain that time. We were expecting to see a heavy dose of Laidley and Culpepper, but with that not working out too well, Bulldogs maybe trying a couple of other backs, seeing if they can open something up for the other guys.
They should outlaw orange numbers on white jerseys. Just inside Eagle territory, and a fumble in the backfield, and it's loose, and who got it? No indication yet. CM says they have it.
Yeah, it looked like a Bulldog got on top of it first.
It looked like the running back who dropped the pitch got on it, but no, they're saying the Eagles have the football. The Eagles recover the football. It was Klein who dropped the pitch, and the Eagles recover it at the Bulldogs' 43-yard line.
And there's always a little wrestling underneath those scrums when you're going for a football until the official gets there. It looked to me like the Bulldog landed on it first, but a good job by the Eagle. Looked like that was number 62, I think. J.D. Cox, one of the defensive ends, may have wrestled that away from the Waterloo player.
And the Eagles are going to throw, and they do, and it's overthrown. Shasheen was the intended receiver. And Tobin just a little too amped up on a couple of passes here in the early going, and that was one of them. Shasheen was wide open.
Yeah, Tobin, you've got to make sure you don't get too excited coming off a big play like that. I know everybody's happy, everybody's excited. We got the ball back, we're in good field position, but you got to maintain composure. You don't want to overthrow your receivers like that. He had his guy wide open in the middle there, and just had it about 1.5 feet too high.
After getting off to a good start, Tobin now 0 for his last 5 pass attempts. He's going to run straight ahead this time and be spotted at the 39-yard line where his knee hit the ground first. That's going to be a gain of, we'll call it 3. It's going to be 3rd and 7.
And Tobin just needs to find a way to get back into a rhythm now. They're going to continue to go to the air. They trust in his arm, and maybe just go with some of the shorter passes, maybe hit Linton on one of those little bubble screens, hit Tanner Brown out in the flat a couple of times maybe, and just get Tobin's confidence back up in this game.
On 3rd down, they're going to throw it again. He's under pressure. He's in trouble. He gets out, throws it to Brown on the sidelines. He gets across the 35, down near the 30. That's 1st down yardage, and another busted play works for CM as Tobin finds Brown once again, and Brown's slow getting up.
Yeah, Tobin doing a good job of finding Brown in the flat as he's being wrapped up and drugged to the ground that time. And Brown gets a block downfield and makes a cut and is able to pick up the first, and a heads-up play by him to just keep his eye on the quarterback and do what he can to find some open space to where Tobin can get him the ball.
It's almost like he was hiding over there on the sidelines right in front of the Eagle bench. I don't know why he was over there, but it worked. So 1st and 10 from the 30 of Waterloo. Tobin takes the snap from the shotgun. Down the middle of the field, overthrown, and that one should have been intercepted too. Steemack was the intended receiver, and that was 2 or 3 yards overthrown, and the safety was back there and just dropped the football.
Yeah, literally going right through the 2 hands of the safety, but Tobin and Steemack have hooked up on that same route countless times already this season. Steemack running that, 12-yard post pattern, and I've never seen them not connect on that play, so Tobin maybe just needs to settle down a little bit here, getting a little too excited, overthrowing his receivers.
2nd and 10 from the 30. They give it to Brown, running to the right side, now down to the middle of the field, across the 20, down near the 15. He started to go on the misdirection to the far side of the field and then cut it back to the middle, and that's a 15-yard gain.
Good job by the offensive line, opening up a nice big hole for Brown to run through there, and he takes the handoff from Tobin, and I thought that one may have went the distance. If he would have got one more block downfield, it could have been 6, but the Eagles' running game really doing the work for him here in this first half.
1st and 10 from the 15. Tobin's going to throw this time. He does to Steemack, who gets to the 10 and down near the 5. That's going to be close to another first down.
Interesting play call there. I think that might be something new as well. A lot of times they'll line up
like a pick play almost.
Yeah, they'll line up 3 wide receivers, and a lot of times it'll be Linton, the middle one, who will run that little bubble screen in. And this time it was Steemack from the outside running it in. Linton sort of setting a pick for him. So nice play call there by the Eagles. And now they got 2 backs in the backfield. You don't see this a whole lot.
2nd and 1 from just outside the 5. Ricky, I think it is, in the backfield with Brown. They give it to Brown. He's hitting the backfield, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. It looked like he was stopped twice, and he just never stopped.
We talked about the aggressiveness Tanner Brown's been running with tonight, and it hasn't stopped yet. He is really doing a great job of picking up yards after contact. Not that he was wrapped up on that play, but they were knocking him around a little bit as he was getting to the line of scrimmage, and a good job by the offensive line and Ricky, the fullback on that play, lead blocking a little bit, getting Brown into the end zone. So the Eagles now extend their lead and getting it done on the ground here in the second quarter. Not too often you can say that about the Eagle offense this season.
Brown to attempt the point after. Snap back. The kick is up, and it is good. 6:40 left to go in the first half. Our score now, Civic Memorial 14, Waterloo 3. This is 1570 Radio Sports.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jeff Alsman and Trevor Shaw back in Bethalto, where the CM Eagles lead Waterloo by a score of 14-3, and Brown set to kick off once again. And let's see how far he boots this one. He's already kicked 2 of them into the end zone tonight on kickoffs, and he's got the win behind him this time. Those 2 were into the win. He puts the foot to it, and this is another long driving kick, sails halfway into the end zone. So again, it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for Waterloo on the touchback.
Good job by Tanner Brown, not even giving the Bulldogs a chance to bring that one out. And with the speed that the backs of the Waterloo Bulldogs possess, that's probably something they had in the back of their mind. Let's not allow these guys to get to break off a return on us. They're dangerous in the open field with their speed, and Tanner Brown has just eliminated that speed in the special teams game here so far tonight.
So Waterloo will start for the 3rd time this evening from their own 20-yard line. Shaw, the quarterback, takes the snap. And on the misdirection, they give it another fumble. And I think the Eagles might have gotten that one. No indication yet. No, apparently not. It looks like the quarterback, maybe Laidley fell on it. He wasn't the one that dropped it. It was Culpepper who dropped it, but Laidley recovered it. 4-yard loss on the play, back to the 16-yard line. Boy, the Waterloo dodged a bullet there. If the Eagles can get that and go into the end zone with that turnover, that would really change the momentum.
Yeah, it could have really been devastating for Waterloo there. So they get it back, lose a few yards, but better than turning the ball over.
And running straight ahead, I believe that's Laidley this time. It looks like it. He's got about 8 men on his back, and he's going to get out near the 30-yard line. When he gets going.
He is not an easy guy to bring down. He had 4 guys in front of him, 2 on the side and 2 behind him trying to bring him down. And then there was a couple guys around those purple jerseys trying to help, but it literally took almost everybody to bring him down. Somebody needs to wrap up the legs, and then maybe somebody needs to pull on a jersey or something to help bring him down. This kid is he's a load.
He gets out to the 29, sets up 3rd and 1. Straight ahead they go, same guy, and Laidley gets out near the 35. That's going to be a 1st down. That was just a quick hitter straight ahead, the first man through, and nobody touched him till he got to the linebacking crew.
Yeah, with 3 down linemen for the Eagles, there is kind of some natural holes that open up there. Maybe they're going to continue to just give it to Laidley right up the middle like that until they can figure out how to get some production out of their other backs. Culpepper, who put the ball on the ground a couple plays ago, really not been extremely effective here in the first half.
1st and 10 from the 35, and a flag flies as a Waterloo player moved, I believe. And illegal procedure is the call. 2nd penalty of the game against Waterloo. Don't forget, right after our action here from Bethalto, game number 2 of our high school doubleheader here tonight on Z1570 features the Alton Redbirds as they are at home to take on the Granite City Warriors. And then 3 more games tomorrow to tell you about. We'll do that after this play. It's 1st and 15 now for Waterloo. Back at their own 30, and they're going to throw. And it's going to be complete at the 49-yard line. A nice catch out there that time. That was Kaufman who got it in and got his feet in bounds. And that's a pickup of 19 and a 1st down.
Nice job by Brian Schaub to throw the fade route there just to put it on the outside shoulder where only Kaufman could get it. And Kaufman doing a good job going up, catching the ball at its highest point. Tanner Brown on the coverage there needs to get his head around before he gets himself a pass interference drawn on him. Didn't look at the ball once.
And they're going to give it to Culpepper, trying to get outside on the far side of the field. A flag flies, probably a holding call. Culpepper's going to pick up close to 5 on the play, but let's see what the flag's going to say. It's in the area of holding for sure.
Oh, Culpepper running that sweep to the far side of the field there. Took a little jab step to try and get the defenders to bite, I think, after he got outside of the tackle and then tried to beat him to the sideline. But like I said, the speed of this defense, you're not going to beat him to the sideline too often. You're just going to have to pick a hole and cut to it and run downhill, and that's probably why Laidley's had a little bit more success than Culpepper here tonight. He's just taking the ball right up the middle.
Markoff will be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which was a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. So it's going to set up a 1st and about 22, it looks like, as it moves them all the way back to the 37-yard line.
10-yard mark off from the spot of the foul.
And we will give you those 3 games tomorrow when we get a chance. They throw it out in the flat to Kaufman. He breaks one tackle, still on his feet, uses the referee as a screen, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and goes down near midfield. And he did a nice little juke there to let the referee get between him and the defenders. Picked up about 4 more yards.
Yeah, use them if you can. I mean, they're on the field. There's nothing you can do about it. They try to get out of the way most of the time and keep themselves from being part of the play. But hey, if he's there and you got to run around him, use him as a screen. Why not?
That's a pickup of 13. It'll be 2nd and 9. The ball right at midfield. 3:30 left to go here in the first half. The Eagles leading 14-3. And the shotgun snap goes over the quarterback's head, and he just goes back and dives on it. And there went all 12 of their yards they just gained as they're right back at the 37 again.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and real long now for the Bulldogs.
And the coach over there, several of them, are pretty unhappy. They're going to call a timeout, and they are running out onto the field. We'll take a quick one, too. 3:14 left to go in the first half. 14-3, CM leads Waterloo. This is 1570 Radio Sports.
The more your life changes, the more your insurance needs change. I'm Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance. In just minutes, I can conduct a free personal insurance review to help you determine how much and what type of coverage is right for you, with no costly gaps or overlaps. Interested? Call me, Gerard Fisher of American Family Insurance, today at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
Everybody's saying buy American, but not me. I just want you to come drive American. Come out today and see for yourself. No one has a more impressive selection of vehicles than Ford. Whether it's a Focus, Fusion, Escape, Edge, F-150, or any other Ford product, no one can beat Ford's quality. Not Toyota, not Honda, not anybody.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years, just off Route 3 or Highway 67 in Alton, or at RobertsMotors.com.
Right back to 3rd and 21 for the Waterloo Bulldogs as they break the huddle and they're ready to go. And CM now back onto the field ready to go as well. 3rd and 21 for a team that doesn't throw the ball much. They're going to put this one in the air, though, and just off the hands of Kaufman, the intended receiver, out near the Eagles' 45. If he catches that in stride, he probably gets the first down, but it was just a bit overthrown. And so it's going to be punting time for the Waterloo Bulldogs, and the Eagles will have about 3 minutes with which to work here.
And typically, that's enough time for them to move down the field and leave the other team about 1.5 minutes on the clock. But the passing game not as effective as it usually is week in and week out here for the Eagles. But the running game has been fantastic here in the first half. Has allowed the Eagles to control the clock and get a 2-score lead in this first half.
The punt is a low-line drive kick that hits at the 40, bounces inside the 30, still rolling to the 25, and it will roll dead just about at the Eagles' 25-yard line. Told you about the game coming up after ours tonight, Granite City and Alton, and then 3 games for you tomorrow. It all follows Brent Birkeland and Sports Talk, which starts at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. No Illinois game tomorrow. They'll be back in action against Ohio State the next week. At noon, it's Marquette and Greenville. And then following that game at 2 o'clock, it'll be Hillsboro and East Alton Wood River. And then at 4 o'clock tomorrow, all of these by way of tape delay, Carlinville and Roxana. And then, of course, after our game tonight, stay tuned. We'll have the Munganast Alton Toyota Player of the Game to name for you. The Eagles have the ball, and they give it to Linton, who went in motion and then took the pitch and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and not much more than that. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, a lot of teams call that like a jet sweep or a motion sweep, where they move a receiver in motion and just give him an inside handoff to run a sweep around the outside. Not a lot going there. Linton usually pretty effective in open space, but just able to get back to the line of scrimmage that time.
From the shotgun, Tobin. 2nd and 10. He's going to roll out to his left. Now he's going to tuck it in and try to run. Now he's running backwards. Now he wants to throw it again, and he does throw it, and he's probably going to get called for grounding as he's looking for an intended receiver somewhere in the area, and the officials are going to talk about it.
He was
I
out
think
of the
he's saying
pocket.
that there's one out there, Shasheen, but I don't know. He was getting knocked out of bounds as he just tossed that ball downfield. They're going to pick the flag up, though, and call it an incomplete pass, saying that Shasheen was close enough to be the intended receiver. And that was one of those 50-50 calls. That could have gone either way.
Well, I thought that being outside the tackle box, he's allowed to throw it away anyway, so I was a little confused from the get-go there, but the Eagles catch a break and have a 3rd and 10 now. Really need to pick up a first down here.
From the 25. They throw it across the middle of the field, and it's, Shasheen had it at the 45 and then dropped it.
Shasheen had it right into his hands as he was going to the ground, and it looked like maybe the ground, like he hit it off the ground a little bit or something, but tough call right there. Tough luck right there for Shasheen, who really could have picked up a big first down for the Eagles and had them close to midfield and on their way to possibly a couple more points.
So that's a quick 3 and out now for the Eagles. Going to leave 2 minutes or so on the clock for Waterloo after Brown kicks this one away, and Waterloo should get it, I would think, somewhere around midfield probably.
And it's very rare you see the Eagles go 3 and out.
A low line drive kick. A one-handed grab by Kaufman at the 45 to the 50. Eagles 45, still on his feet. Now he's running backwards, gets back to the 45, picks up 2 more yards and goes down at the 43-yard line. So Waterloo has really good field position here with 1:52 left in the first half. And our score, Civic Memorial 14 and Waterloo 3.
If you're Waterloo head coach Dan Rose and the coaching staff, I think your heart stopped for about a half a second there when he just reached up to try and catch that punt one-handed. I understand Kaufman probably not wanting the ball to get past him to give him a chance to return it, but that was a potentially, could have been a potentially devastating play there, but he's able to reel it in and get a decent return.
Schaub from the shotgun. Haven't seen that a whole lot. They give it to Culpepper. He's got a big hole. He's got a first down as he gets inside the 35 to about the 33. And they haven't signaled first down. Now they do signal first down on the 10-yard gain.
And I think that may have been Culpepper's longest run of the game here so far, close to it, as he had some open space up the middle that time. And maybe the Bulldogs running the shotgun formation just to switch it up a little bit and create some extra space.
Now the Eagles are going to take a timeout on defense to try to regroup, as Waterloo will have the ball, 1st and 10 at the Eagles' 33-yard line. And you're right, that was Culpepper had another gain for the same amount of yards, but that's the first time he's shown that real quick burst of speed when he got through the line. And the Eagles will have to keep an eye on that, because you can't afford to pick up those kinds of chunks of yardage down here, especially allowing points this close to the end of the first half. You want to shut this down and go into the locker room at least where you are now, leading 14-3, if you can do that.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to let the Bulldogs get within one score. Even if they come away, say Waterloo comes away with a field goal on this drive, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion would get them right back into a tie ball game. So the Eagles defense really needs to clamp down here on first down and definitely not allow another first down, because that would probably put Waterloo at least close to field goal range.
After the timeout, Schaub will go back into the shotgun again. And he will keep it this time, and he's hit from both sides and thrown for about a 5, maybe a 6-yard loss. He faked the handoff to Culpepper and kept it, and when he turned around, all he saw was purple.
Yeah, linebacker Jeff Justice, defensive end J.D. Cox, both in on the play there, coming from opposite sides, and just kind of met in the middle with Schaub in between them.
It's going to be 2nd and 15. From the shotgun again, Schaub's going to roll out left. He throws. It's complete near the 30. It looks like Kaufman, who's falling forward and getting close to the 27. That's going to be a pickup of about 11, it looks like. And it's going to set up a 3rd and maybe a long 4. We'll call it a gain of 10, and we'll call 3rd and 5.
Inside a minute to go here in the first half.
And hurry up for the Bulldogs. They throw it in the flat to Kaufman. He's going to get hit. He's going to be close to the line of scrimmage, but I think he's short, and he stays in bounds. And they're going to mark it at the 24, and now Waterloo will use their second timeout.
At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
You don't know Jack Schmidt!
In Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
from its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products.
It's going to be fourth, and it looks like 1 from the 29.
Interesting play call here. I think if you're the Bulldogs, obviously we're not really sure what kind of kicker they've got as far as a field goal kicker. Probably a little too far away right now. But, I mean, give it to Ladley, your big fullback up the middle. I'm sure he could probably get you that yard and at least give you a new set of downs. You've got one more timeout. The clock's going to stop after you move the chains anyway, so you have an opportunity to get back to the line of scrimmage. So in the timeout here, you could call 2 plays. You call a dive play to Ladley and get that first down. Then you already have the play call, line up at the line of scrimmage, hurry up and run it.
Well, it'd be a 40-yard field goal, which is probably out of range, and the 3 points doesn't help you that much right now anyway. Lute trailing 14-3. When it's 4th and 1, I think you're right. Give it to the tank right up the middle. Let him get the first down, hurry up and get up, even if you have to spike the ball to stop the clock. And they still have a timeout, so they're going to run it straight ahead, and the Eagles are ready. And Ladley is hit in the backfield, and I think everybody in the stadium must have known that play was coming. You and I certainly called it, and the Eagles were ready for it, and they will take over on downs.
Great play by Alex Lopez. One of the linebackers comes in on the blitz, hits his gap, and meets the running back as he gets the ball, and he does not give up an inch to the fullback who's been dragging Eagle defenders all over the field all the first half. A great job by Lopez to stop the running back in his tracks and force the turnover on downs.
So the Eagles, will they set on the football now in the final 35 seconds or not? I don't know if they have that play in their playbook. No, they're going to throw it. Tobin across the middle behind Shasheen, and incomplete as he short-hopped it out near midfield. And the Eagles are just still trying to put points on the board here, using every opportunity they can.
Well, with 35 seconds, they still got a timeout or two in their pocket. So, I mean, with moving the chains and everything, I'm not surprised they're taking some shots downfield here. Tobin just a little behind his receiver on that last play.
And they're going to throw it again. And they do in the flat. That's Brown, who moves to the middle of the field across the 40, has a first down. 45, still on his feet, out to the 46 before he's thrown out of bounds. That'll stop the clock, and that's going to be a gain of 18 on the play.
Great job by Tanner Brown there. I was a little skeptical. He catches the pass and had a chance to pick up a few yards, then run out of bounds. He cut back into the middle, which is a big no-no when you're getting late in the half or late in a game when you want to stop the clock, but he finds a way to pick up about 10 more yards and then finds his way back to the sideline to get out of bounds. So great play by Tanner Brown.
19 seconds left in the half. Tobin from the shotguns wanting to throw it again. He does, and it's complete to Stemak, who gets out of bounds at the 41. That's good for another first down and a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, not surprised Tobin going to his go-to receiver there. Stemak, a big target, 6'2", has good leaping ability, can go up and get the ball, and always works that strong side of the field, that working as the solo receiver. I won't be surprised if Tobin maybe locks onto him here again.
That took 5 seconds. We got 14 seconds left in the half now. Another pass like that, and the Eagles are in distance of throwing it into the end zone. And Tobin's going to run it straight ahead. They have the timeout to work with. He's to the 30, the 25, and down to the 22. And now the Eagles will call timeout to stop the clock with 7 seconds. That's a 19-yard pickup for Tobin and another first down.
Wow, interesting play call there. I thought for sure they'd try to go to the air, but catching the defense off guard, me as well, giving it to Tobin on the draw play. And we've said it before, he's got the ability to move the chains with his legs, not just his arm, and he gets him at least close to within field goal range here. The way Tanner Brown's been kicking off the tee, I wouldn't be surprised if he could convert a field goal from here, and that'd really extend their lead to 3 scores.
Probably got time for one play, unless you can get out of bounds or pick up the first down or call your last timeout. Unofficially, I still have CM with one timeout. 7 seconds left. It's hard to get a play in under 5 seconds unless it's just a very quick pass.
Right. In a situation like this where when you're in a timeout, you can call 2 plays, and if you pick up the first down, hurry back to the line of scrimmage and run the play before the clock starts again. Yeah, they're lined up to run another play.
They're going to run at least one more. Tobin from the shotgun. Brown in the backfield.
Safety on the far side. Steemack has a wide open post route here.
He sure does. And they love to throw it. Let's see what they're going to do. They're going to throw it long, and it is just overthrown. Steemack ran the fly pattern instead of the post, and he was open. And Tobin just couldn't quite fit it in. And now with 3.2 seconds left, it looks like the Eagles may try to kick a field goal here.
And Tanner Brown's had a big boot here tonight on the kickoffs, been kicking them into the end zone, out of the end zone. So just all we need here is a good hold and a good snap and a good hold.
This is going to be a 40-yard field goal attempt, it looks like. A 40-yard field goal attempt from the near hash to try to put 3 more on the boards in the first half. Snap back, ball down, the kick is up, and it's going to be short and off to the right, and no good. So that's the way our first half will end. Civic Memorial leads Waterloo 14-3. This is 1570 Radio Sports.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from.
Yeah! Woo!
This Waterloo Bulldog team has been behind in every game that they have played, and they're 4-0. So being behind is not something that is unaccustomed for them. You'd much rather be ahead, but they have overcome that obstacle in every game so far this year and picked up a victory. And so the Eagles definitely want to put an end to that streak here in the second half tonight.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's the message that Waterloo's head coach Dan Rose was giving his Bulldogs is, hey, we've been behind 4 times this year, and we came back and won 4 times this year. So, you know, the Eagles, obviously, they know that too, and they don't want to be the 5th team that happens to. So they, with getting the ball here to start the second half, they got to continue to keep the clock moving and use that time of possession in their favor.
And here is the kick to start the second half, and it's going to be taken up near the 15 by the Eagles, across the 20, 25, and out near the 27-yard line is where they're going to mark it for play. Was it Linton, I think, that might have had that return. At any rate, it's the Eagles with it at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10.
Actually, I think it was Tanner Brown on the return that time. Linton and he were deep, and Brown comes back into the game at tailback, and let's see if Tobin can tighten up those throws a little bit and look a little sharper here in the second half like we know he can.
On first down from the shotgun like always. A lot of movement in the defense by Waterloo, threatening blitz and then pulling out of it. And Tobin is going to drop back and throw the screen, and he does to Brown across the 30, 35. Still on his feet, didn't go out of bounds, crosses the 40, and that's first down yardage out near the 42.
Well, the Bulldogs did bring the house that time. They were showing blitz, then backed off, but then brought all the linebackers on the jailbreak blitz, and once Tobin got the ball over the defense's head into Brown's hands, it was, a lot of daylight for Brown in the open field there. He got behind a lot of those linebackers, and the Bulldogs lucky he didn't break that one to the house.
15-yard pickup on first down sets up a new set of downs. From their own 42, from the shotgun, Tobin takes the snap and fakes it to Brown, and now throws it in the right flat to Linton. Linton burst of speed, first down yardage across midfield and down to the 47 of Waterloo.
And that was a great job by the receivers on the far side, blocking for Linton downfield. Linton, don't see him running a lot of the deep routes. A lot of the times that's reserved for Steemack and Shashim tend to do that. But Linton, what he does is work well in open space and work those little quick hitters, the little bubble screens great, and did a good job of turning the ball upfield that time and getting the first down.
Well, they faked the handoff to Brown, and you've got to respect that so much that you just didn't expect him to throw, and now a whistle. And I think somebody for the Eagles moved early. It is illegal procedure. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and set up 1st and 15.
Well, a little disappointing there. You hate to shoot yourselves in the foot after such a positive play on the pass from Tobin to Linton, but it is just a 5-yard penalty, and this offense can make that up, but Tobin's got to be a little sharper here in the second half, as we talked about here this series now.
That'll move the ball back into Eagles territory. Tobin's going to throw. He does. That's to Linton. Linton gets about 6, maybe 7 on the play as he falls down at about the 45 of the Bulldogs. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 after the 7-yard gain.
And so he gets about halfway back to the first down mark, and again, just running a little quick hitter there and coming back to the ball, doing a good job. And he is at top speed so fast, it's surprising he doesn't have more touchdowns.
They're going to throw it again to Linton. He's got it at the 40, to the 35, 30, still on his feet, 25, and knocked out near the 20-yard line. They're going to mark it at the 21, but there's a flag way back where the quarterback was. It might be roughing the passer. It is roughing the passer against the Bulldogs. So a big play, a short pass to Linton, and he did the rest.
Yeah, it's 3 times in a row now the Eagles have came out and gave it to Linton on the little quick hitter passes, and he has made the Bulldogs pay. And we've seen it once in the first half. He had one catch for somewhere around 7 or 9 yards, something like that. And I was curious, thinking to myself at halftime, I'm surprised they hadn't gone to him more. Previous games, they go to him, 5, 6, maybe 8 times a game on those plays. And here they go in this series 3 times in a row, and 2 of them for first down.
And they'll tack on the penalty yardage, which will be half the distance to the goal line. So the ball will be just outside the 10. We'll call it the 10. The Eagles can get a first down without getting into the end zone now. And they are threatening deep in Waterloo territory. So a 24-yard gain and another 10 yards or so on the penalty. Roughing the passer tacked on at the end. And it'll be 1st and 10 from just outside the 10 for the CM Eagles, who already lead 14-3. And they're going to give it to Brown running to the right. Now he cuts it back inside and gets down near the 5-yard line.
Good job by Brown to just make the one cut and get what you can. Not a whole lot there. Good pursuit by the Bulldog defense, but he did make his cut, hit the hole, and picked up a few yards and gets a little closer to the goal line.
2nd down and 5 after the 5-yard pickup.
They can still pick up another first, too, if they get it down to the 1, it looks like.
From the shotgun, Tobin takes the snap. He fakes it to Brown, keeps it himself, and he's hit. He's going to lose yardage on that play. There were 4 or 5 Bulldogs, who pull him down back near the 9-yard line. That's a loss of 4.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs not going to be fooled on that play again. They were burned by it in the first quarter when Tobin took it in for about 10 yards out for a score, and they're not going to let that happen again. So good job by the Bulldog defense to shut Tobin out on the running play there.
We'll call it 3rd and 8 from the 8. The Eagles can get a first down by getting just inside the 1. And Tobin wants to throw. Here's the blitz. He's got pressure. He's got Brown, though, at the 5. And hog-collared and thrown out of bounds somewhere near the 2. It's going to be short of the first down, but not by much.
This is where a goal line offense, an offensive package with maybe a couple of tight ends and a quarterback under center could come in handy. You could quarterback sneak and pick up the first down. We'll see what the Eagles do here. Looks like they've got their offensive package out. They're going to go for it and try and punch it in for 6.
On 4th and 2.
2 backs around Tobin in the backfield. We saw this score. Tanner Brown scored on a similar package on a running play in the second quarter.
The Eagles knocking at the door near the end zone. They give it to Tobin. Tobin to Ricky, and he is very close. It's going to all depend on the spot. I don't know how he could get any closer without scoring, and I can't imagine he doesn't have the first down.
Eagle players at least signaling first down.
They're going to measure. They've spotted the ball inside the 1, outside the goal line at about the half-yard line. And I can't tell how he can't have the first down considering where the ball is. He's almost in the end zone. And it is an Eagle first down, and they'll have 4 chances from inside the 1 to add to their 14-3 lead.
Big break for the Eagles there, picking up the first. It was close, and they had just enough of the football past that marker. And as you said, 4 tries now for for a score. And I can't imagine with this offense, they can't find a way to put this in for 6 in 4 tries.
Tobin just turned around and said something to Ricky, who's the only back in the backfield. He probably said, this one's yours.
Yeah.
I'll just get out of your way, and this one's yours. Actually, Tobin's going to spin around and then keep it, and no signal, and it looks like no touchdown. Looks like he is short, but he is about as close as you can be.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a miscommunication there, but because Tobin just swung around and took off with it. No play fake, no handoff fake or nothing as Brown comes back into the game now for Ricky.
2nd and goal from about the 4-inch line. Inside the 1, the Eagles trying to add to their 14-3 lead. Tobin's going to roll out. Started to try to cut in. He dives, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. He took off at about the 4 and dove into the end zone.
And that was his only option if he was going to cross the goal line. Defense giving good pursuit to the sideline there, and they saw there was no receivers out on patterns. They were all blocking for Tobin in the end zone to get him in, and he runs to the left side. And the linebackers pursue him, and the only choice he had was to go airborne, and he got in. Little Reggie Bush action there as he extended the ball out to just barely cross the goal line. So the Eagles now in control of this game.
Brown in to attempt the extra point.
And nearly 4 minutes on the possession there, too. So a lengthy drive at that for the Eagles.
And Brown drives it through, and so with 8:09 left to go in the third quarter, the score now, Civic Memorial 21, Waterloo 3. This is 1570 Radio Sports.
There's a long pass. It looks like it's going to be overthrown. Oh, the receiver dashes under the ball and makes the catch. Touchdown!
Where did he get that extra burst of speed? That off-season training really paid off.
Alton Memorial Hospital's Human Motion Institute Sports Performance helps athletes maximize their potential and improve their game. With sports performance training, you'll leap higher, run faster, and throw farther. Learn more at altonmemorialhospital.org. Human Motion Institute Sports Performance, building better athletes.
Compare a well-equipped Lexus ES to a well-equipped Buick LaCrosse. Get inside each and see what you find. If perfection is what you pursue, this might just change your course. Meet the new class of world class. The 2010 LaCrosse from Buick. May the best car win.
So Brown set to kick off for the Eagles, who have increased their lead to 21-3. Bulldogs with 3 return men back deep. They haven't been able to return one yet tonight, and they're not going to touch this one either, as Brown lands it 5 or 6 yards into the end zone, and he is putting on a kickoff clinic for high school players here this evening.
Absolutely. His last 3 kickoffs landing halfway into the end zone with no chance of a return. So really, it's tough to describe how important that is for your defense. Not only does it give them, a short field for them, give the Bulldogs a long field and 80 yards or so to drive for a score, but it helps out if you can force the Bulldogs to punt and gives your offense a shorter field too. It's all about the field position game.
Schaub is going to throw into the flat, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Shelby Culpepper, the intended receiver, and it'll be 2nd and 10, and quickly here, at least on the first play, not a running play, putting the ball in the air, which is not what Waterloo is known for, and probably not what they wanted to have to do coming into the game.
Right, and I think the Eagles taking such a lengthy drive and ending in a touchdown really kind of puts the Bulldogs behind the 8 ball, because they've got to find a way to come away with some points on this drive, because they probably only got maybe 3 more possessions in this game, and they're down 3 scores.
On 2nd and 10, they pitch it to Kaufman, and he is hammered. Find the number of that truck. He tried to go around the corner, and somebody just leveled him.
I think that was number 52, Alex Lopez, who had a big stop in the second quarter when the Bulldogs were going for it on a 4th and 1. He stuffed the big fullback, Zach Laidley, behind the line to force a turnover on down. So Lopez with a couple of huge hits here tonight on the defensive side of the ball. And the Eagles defense looking like they figured something out here tonight. We've seen them sort of, lax up a little bit in the second half and give up some points, but they are playing tough here tonight.
Running to this side and trying to find some room, and falling down at the 25 is the running back Culpepper. He had a little bit of room, but the hole closed quickly, and now it's going to set up 4th down. After that 6-yard gain, it's still going to be 4th and 5. The stadium's still shaking from that last Lopez hit.
Linebacker Ricky Woolley and Shelby Culpepper may be having some words down on the field, maybe jawing a little bit. As soon as they got up, the official grabbed Woolley and had a couple of things to say to him, so I'm not sure what transpired down there, but Woolley does definitely not want to do anything to get a penalty.
Bulldogs back to punt. The kick is away, and it's going to be taken maybe on the hop by Linton. He does at the 40 to the 45, and he's hit and smacked pretty hard at about the 47, maybe the 48-yard line. So some hard hitting going on out there right now.
Yeah, Linton on the return there had nowhere to go, didn't have any blockers really on that side, and decided to take on 2 Bulldogs at once. And 2 Bulldogs versus 1 Eagle. 2 Bulldogs will usually win, but Linton doing a good job there, getting his team near midfield for their series.
So the Eagles will come off the sideline. No huddle, of course, right out to the field. Tobin at quarterback. From their own 48, the Eagles will have it. 6.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter and a 21-3 lead. They're going to throw it to Linton. He's got a blocker. He gets across midfield and then is pulled out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. That's good for a 5-yard gain. It'll be 1st and 5.
And if the Eagles continue to get these looks from the Bulldog defense, they're in man coverage. 3 of their 4 players covering the wide receivers were man up, bump and run on the receivers. The man covering Linton was 10 yards off the ball. He's going to be open every time.
2nd down and 5. Or we'll call it the 47-yard line. of the Bulldogs. Tobin takes the snap in the shotgun again. No receivers open. Now he's scrambling around in the backfield. He's got Brown open over here. Doesn't see him, but throws it on the other side of the field, and that's complete. I think that was McKinney near the 35. That's good for a first down.
Yeah, great job by Zach Tobin to buy some time. You're right, it was Jack McKinney. The free safety seeing some offensive time here tonight. But Tobin doing a good job of evading tacklers in the backfield, buying extra time, allowing his receivers to find some open space for him to deliver the ball. And he did and moved the chains.
New set of downs for the Eagles. They'll mark it at the 36-yard line. 6:11 left to go here in the third quarter. And they try to throw it to Linton, but that one was bounced to him incomplete.
And that's going to continue to be open if they play off of him in the slot there. Again, the man over him was nearly 10 yards off the ball. And with those little quick hitters, that gives him, not only does it give Tobin time to get Linton the ball, but it gives Linton time to turn it upfield for at least 4 yards before that man covering him is going to make any contact.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. That's the first incompletion of the second half for Tobin. He's going to throw it to Linton again. He's across the 35, across the 30, 25 in the foot race, and nobody's going to catch Linton. It's a touchdown, 36 yards, and Linton caught it in the flat and just ran the rest of the way.
Great job by Tobin hitting Linton again on that little quick hitter, and receivers doing a good job for their fellow man blocking downfield, opening up seams for Linton. Makes a couple of moves and takes it to the house. And that was a pretty nice run after the catch there by Jaron Linton as they extend the lead now and are really rolling here in Bethalto.
Brown on to attempt the point after, which would make it 28-3. And still just under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Snap back, ball down, kick is up, and it is good. 5:55 left to play in the third quarter here at CM. The score, the Eagles 28, the Waterloo Bulldogs 3.
In today's economy, everyone's looking for an encouraging sign. That's exactly what you'll find right here at my State Farm office in Bethalto. I'm Tom Lane, and for 86 years, State Farm agents like me have been helping you protect the things that matter most. That's why more people trust State Farm, and why we consider that a very good sign.
Call Tom Lane State Farm office in Bethalto at 377-8912 or go to tomlaneagency.net.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too.
Brown back to kick again for the Eagles, who scored 14 points in the first half and have scored 14 points in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. That one is going to be into the end zone again, just off the hands of the return man, who leaped up and tried to catch it one-handed, and Kaufman couldn't, and was probably not a very wise thing to do anyway.
No, and the ball never actually went out of bounds out of the end zone.
I think he touched it in the end zone. I don't think it was live.
Oh, okay.
If he touches it in play,
he doesn't
it's
even
a live ball.
He doesn't even have to touch it.
Well, you're right. It's a live ball until... But it will be Waterloo ball at the 20-yard line. 28-3, the Eagles lead. The Bulldogs are going to throw, and they do, and it's complete and knocked out of bounds after picking up a first down. And I'm not sure who that receiver was on the far side. Looks like maybe it was it Klein or Culpepper, one or the other. I think it was Klein.
And the Bulldogs really out of their comfort zone now, having to go to the air in the shotgun. We've talked about how they've came back all 4 times. I don't know if they've came back from deficits this large this late in the game, but
they're going to throw it again across the field, across the center field. That was Kaufman that time, who catches it for first down yardage at the 45 and then gets knocked down immediately, but that's another gain of about 14.
Yeah, good hit by Jack McKinney, the free safety, as Klein was coming over the middle, but you've either got to hit him harder and separate him from the ball, or reach around and get your arm in there and knock the ball out, because it's a first down. It's a great hit, but it's still a first down.
From the 45, they're going to throw again from the shotgun. Now pressure. New quarterback into the game. That's not Schaub. The pass is caught near midfield. Looks like the quarterback in there is
Brett Wiggers, number 5.
Number 5, Wigger is the quarterback.
And I saw him in the pre-games as they were running through some of their plays, get some play calls in, but it was towards the later stages, so I thought maybe they were just trying to give their defense a couple of different looks, but he has replaced Schaub, at least for now. Maybe he's got a little bit better arm.
He must be the thrower, right. They're from the shotgun again. And they're going to give it to Culpepper, running here to the near side. Picks up the first down to the 40 and down near the 35 before he goes down. That's a gain of almost 15 on that play.
And one of the biggest runs of the night for Culpepper, who's really been held in check for the most part here tonight. He is scoreless and only a couple of runs over 10 yards tonight, and he was averaging just a little over 9 a carry coming into this game. So the Eagle defense doing a great job containing the running game of the Bulldogs.
Wigger going to throw it again. He does. Down the sideline. He's got a man, Kaufman, open at the 10. He catches it and over Steemack and then falls to the 8-yard line. And that's going to be a first down and a gain of 27 yards.
Yeah, not the greatest coverage by Matthew Steemack on the corner there. Really allowed his receiver separation. Didn't go up at the highest point to try and knock the ball away. I don't see him on defense a whole lot, and maybe he's out there just to give someone else a breather. But
first and goal from the 8. Culpepper cutting it inside. And he is hit. A flag flies. A loss of a couple as it's back to the 10-yard line. Let's see what the flag is for. Illegal shift against the Bulldogs, so that'll probably cost him 5 yards, I would think. I would think the Eagles would take the penalty and make it 1st and 15. Oh, they're going to decline. No, now they're going to walk it off. It looked like for a minute they were going to decline the penalty, but they will take it. And it'll move it out to the 14 where it'll be 1st and goal. And they wind the clock, and the Bulldogs ready to play. 2 receivers to the near side here. And Wigger's going to roll to the near side and throw to the end zone, and no receiver was turning around to look for the football. 2 receivers were in the area, but they were both looking the other direction.
Yeah, got to be on the same page with your quarterback. You always got to be looking for the ball when you're running those routes. You don't know when he's going to deliver the pass, but good job by the Eagle defenders to force the errant throw.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 14-yard line. This has been an impressive possession for the Bulldogs with the quarterback change. Seems to have gotten a little bit of a spark, the ability to throw the ball down the field. They're going to throw it into flat, and that one is dropped by Kaufman, and he took his eyes off of it to look downfield and see who might be coming, and flat out dropped the football.
And Kaufman really been pretty sure-handed here tonight. Reeled in, got to be the leading receiver for the Bulldogs here tonight, and just drops an easy pass there. Sometimes you hear the footsteps and you put it on the floor, but 3rd down here, and the Bulldogs got to at least close the gap between the 14-yard line and the goal line here.
Well, you know it's 4-down territory.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Wigger wants to throw. Pressure is on. He throws and overthrows the intended receiver near the 5. And the pressure disrupted that play and forced him back into the pocket, and it's incomplete. And it'll be 4th and 14. 4th and goal from the 14-yard line.
Big play here now for the Eagle defense. You can't give up a first down, but the one thing you definitely cannot do is give up the touchdown and allow the Bulldogs to get themselves back into this game. But a stop here would definitely go a long way in putting the nail in the coffin here.
4th and goal from the 14-yard line. The Bulldogs trailing 28-3 and trying to get on the scoreboard again. And they're going to throw it towards the end zone, and it's knocked away. Kaufman had it, and a hit was put on, and the ball separated, and it's incomplete. That was Brown on the defensive play, and the Eagles will take over on downs.
Yeah, good job by Tanner Brown sticking to his receiver he was manned up on, and a little bump and run coverage and separating his receiver from ball when the pass was delivered. So
I think Kaufman, who was the intended receiver, is still down near the 5, so he'll get some medical attention. We will take a break, and it'll be Eagles football, 1st and 10 from their own 14 when we come back.
Did you know that members of Olin Community Credit Union benefit from local service? At Olin Community Credit Union, they keep everything local. They service your loans locally from the time you apply until your final payment. If you're looking to buy or refinance a home, loans are made easy with their online mortgage center. You can view current rates, apply online, sign up for Rate Watch, or contact one of Olin Community Credit Union's mortgage representatives for more information. www.olincreditunion.org.
I'll grab the birthday cake, you bring the gift, if you're sure she's ready.
She's 16, honey, and she's earned a set of keys.
She's studied and practiced, I know, but it's a big responsibility.
When you have a teen driver, it's good to know that Madison Mutual has the insurance coverage you need.
She's ready, and so are we. I talked to our Madison Mutual agent.
Call Barry Macias, your local independent insurance agent, at 467-2874.
The more life changes, the more you need Madison Mutual.
6 months.
And the Eagles right out of the timeout. Snap it to Tobin, and he will move it forward, maybe getting a yard on the play. The injured player, Dalton Kaufman, got up and left the field on his own power. So he seemed to be okay. It'll be a 1-yard gain for Tobin, and it'll be 2nd and 9. The ball now at the 15-yard line. Eagles taking as much time as they can now, wanting to eliminate the clock as much as possible. Tobin takes the snap, and he wants to throw, and he does. What a route run by Steemack at the 25 and out to the 27. He looked like he was going to run that fly pattern. The defender gave him a 3-yard cushion. He broke it off and turned to the sidelines, and what a route that was, and he was wide open for Tobin.
Yeah, great job by Steemack. Excellent route running, as you said, and giving his quarterback a nice big target with no one around for Tobin to hit. So nice pickup there for Steemack and Tobin as the Eagles give themselves a little breathing room.
And this time they give it to Brown running to the right side, and he's going to pick up 3 or so on the play, maybe 4, maybe even 5 before he falls down. Because it looks like they're going to put it out at about the 34-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 5. Under 2.5 minutes left to go in the third period, and the Eagles leading 28-3. Tobin looking over to get the play called from the sidelines, and now he takes the snap from the shotgun. Wants to throw to his right, nobody there. Now he's going to scramble. Now he's going to get out of bounds at the 37, it looks like. That's a pickup of about 3. And it looks like a couple of yards short, and Tobin kind of turns nothing into something that time.
Yeah, really nothing open for him downfield. He did a good job keeping his eyes downfield in case something developed, but had to reverse to the left side, switched the ball and the hand he was carrying to his left hand. So once he did that, we knew he wasn't going to throw, and did a good job of just picking up what he could, and gets into a manageable 3rd down situation now.
3rd and 1, we'll call it. And straight ahead, Tobin, and it's all going to depend on the spot. It looks like he's got it to the 39, and it looks like it's a 1st down.
Yeah, it should be. He did get to that yard marker he needed to, and they gave him a nice spot, and that moves the chain. So good job by Tobin. Not a lot of yards gained, but just enough to move those chains.
Keep the ball, keep the clock moving. 1:50, and now the clock will stop as the Eagles will take a timeout. So we'll take one quickly as well. 1:50 left in the third quarter. Our score, Civic Memorial 28, Waterloo 3. This is 1570 Radio Sports.
Why is Roberts Motors #1 in Ford certified pre-owned sales in the St. Louis Metro East?
Visit the 169-point inspection all our vehicles go through.
Maybe it's because we've been doing it for over 60 years.
Or is it the large selection we keep in stock at all times?
Personally, I think the answer is all the above. Stop in today and see. Nobody does pre-owned better than Roberts Motors.
Roberts Motors, your hometown dealer for over 60 years in Alton, Illinois, or on the web at RiverBender.com.
To-do lists rarely need more to do. So, at American Family, we offer a variety of products at affordable prices with the convenience of a single agent. From auto and homeowners to business and life insurance. This is Gerard Fisher with American Family Insurance. Give me a call at 466-7062.
American Family Insurance.
1st and 10 for the Eagles after the timeout, and they give it to Brown running to the right. He's hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back, and looks like no gain on the play. As he might have gotten to the 40, but no more than that. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for CM, and under a minute and a half now left to go in the third quarter, and the clock keeps moving. And the Eagles just want to keep the ball out of the hands of Waterloo and keep that clock running.
Yeah, with the game well in hand, I won't be surprised if we see the Eagles go to the ground even more so here in the final 13 minutes of the game.
Tobin takes the snap. He's going to throw on this play. He's going long and overthrows the intended receiver. Linton was the intended receiver on the fly pattern here in the near sidelines, and Tobin just put too much air under that, about 5 yards overthrown.
Yeah, a little overthrown even over the defender's head there, who was a couple yards behind Linton, but not too surprised they're still going to the, I mean, they are still going to, they're not going to get away from who they are. They're a passing team, but with 3rd and 10 here, probably a passing situation. You pick up the 1st down, then maybe run it again on 1st down.
Tobin in the shotgun. Brown, the only back in the backfield, and Tobin drops back to throw. He underthrows this time the intended receiver, and somebody was confused about the pattern that they were running, as Steemack didn't break it off that time. He ran the fly pattern, and it looked like Tobin thought he was going to break the pattern off early, and it was underthrown by about 10 yards or so, and it'll set up 4th down, and the Eagles will have to kick the ball from their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, I wonder if that play call there, Steemack was supposed to maybe run some sort of a read option where he's got 2 choices of which route to run depending on what the defender does. And as you said, Tobin threw it as if Steemack was going to break it off about 10 yards shorter, which he did not. So a little bit of a miscommunication there, but the Eagles still well in control of this game.
So they will punt the football. Brown back to put the foot into it, and he does. A high kick. Nice spiral taken by Kaufman back at the 17. He gets to the 20, trying to get the corner. 25, 30, still on his feet. Out near the 40, crosses the 40, out to about the 42 or 43, and a pretty good run back after a really good punt.
Well, good job by Kaufman, the return man for the Bulldogs there. They needed all the help they can get and end up with great field position after that return of, over 20 yards or so. And good job by his blocking team as well to open up the lane on the left side for him. He did break a couple of tackles on his own, but the Bulldogs getting close to desperate here as we approach the 4th quarter.
40 seconds left in the 3rd period, and the Bulldogs will have it. 1st and 10 at their own 43. Let's see if Wigger is still in at quarterback, and he is. Laidley, one of the backs. Culpepper in there as well. Kaufman to the near side here. And they give the ball to Culpepper. He's hit in the backfield and thrown down for a loss. Back near the 40-yard line.
Good job by the Eagle linebacker, Brian Rickey there, coming through on the blitz. Didn't get him at first contact. Didn't get the running back at first contact, but held on to the jersey and was able to bring him down, still behind the line of scrimmage. So the Eagle linebacker's doing a great job of containing this thunder and lightning backfield of the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs will have to hurry to get one more playoff here before the end of the third quarter. And they won't get the playoff before the end of the third quarter. The siren sounds, and at the end of 3 periods here in Bethalto, it's Civic Memorial 28, Waterloo 3. We'll be back with the final period after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
From its birth in 1931 on Broadway in Alton to its new home on Homer Adams Parkway, welcome to Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings. Alton Refrigeration and Home Furnishings earned its outstanding customer service reputation in servicing major appliance brands such as Maytag, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Frigidaire, Samsung, and more. When you think about it, Alton Refrigeration is about providing you with years of comfortable living with worry-free brand name products. At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
You don't know Jack Schmidt!
In Wood River, Illinois.
Yeah!
Back in Bethalto, they put 12 minutes on the clock, and we're ready for the final period here. And the Eagles with a 28-3 lead. Waterloo faced with 2nd and 12 from their own 40. And Wigger's going to put it in the air. And he does, and it's complete, and getting out across the 45 to about the 47. Make it the 48. I think it was Kaufman. That's good for about a 7-yard gain.
Give a lot of credit to the Eagle defense here tonight. Have completely destroyed any game plan the Bulldogs had coming into this game. I doubt Waterloo expected to be in the shotgun and throwing the ball almost every play in the second half.
3rd and 5. They want to throw it again, and now they do. And fumbling at midfield, although Waterloo falls on it at their own 48. Kaufman fumbled it after the reception, and it'll be recovered. Actually, they'll mark it at the 49, so it's going to be 4th and 4, it looks like.
And the Bulldogs, I mean, you got to go for it here, even though they're at midfield with just under 11 minutes in the game. It's 4-down territory. They're down 25 points, so you're down 4 scores. And
that's the 5th time they've put the ball on the ground. They've only lost 1 of those 5 fumbles. Eagles now scurrying around on defense to get into the play, and Wigger throws, and it's complete for 1st down yardage out to the 45. That's a gain of 6 and a 1st down.
Got to give Wigger, the backup quarterback, some credit there. The Eagle defensive linebackers shifting, to try and get the matchup they wanted on the offense. And as they were shifting, still a couple of players not set in their position. Quarterback snaps the ball and gets the defense caught out of position and able to pick up the 1st.
And they're going to throw again. Trying to throw long this time and overthrowing the intended receiver. Incomplete down near the 10-yard line. Kaufman was the intended receiver, and that one was overthrown.
Seems like Dalton Kaufman is the primary target on every pass play. Not that a couple other guys have reeled one in for the Bulldogs here tonight, but it seems like it's just snap, 1, 2, 3, boom, hit it to Kaufman for their passing game, and that's really not too surprising considering they don't throw the ball all that much. They tend to rely on the run, but
what is surprising is that they've almost totally gone away from the run.
Yeah.
And that's their strength. Now they're going to run it straight ahead with Laidley. He's going to pick up about 5 on the play as he gets to the 40. And they do have a running back who can pick up some big chunks of yardage with good speed if he can get to the outside. That's Culpepper. But the Eagles haven't allowed that to happen so far tonight.
No, the linebackers have done an excellent job of keeping him contained and not letting him beat him to the sideline and get upfield.
So it'll be 3rd and 5, 4-down territory again for the Bulldogs, trailing 28-3. Under 10 minutes left to go in the game. And there's going to be a 5-yard walk-off for an illegal procedure penalty against Waterloo, and that's going to make it 3rd and 10 now. I've done that a few too many times tonight if you're a Bulldog fan.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in a game like this when you've got to have the first down, and it's already 3rd and 10, or excuse me, 3rd and 5. You don't want to make it 3rd and 10 to make it even more difficult for yourself, and that's just what they've done.
Clock running with 9:25 left to play. And the quarterback's going to keep it and roll to the left and throw, and completing it near the 20, inside the 20 to the 15-yard line. And Snodgrass with the reception. They're going to mark him at the 14.
And good coverage by Desmond Woods on the receiver that time. He was tight. The ball was just put where Snodgrass could only get it, and he did a good job of concentrating and catching the ball. And Woods brought him down immediately, but now the Bulldogs.
That's a 31-yard pickup.
Yeah, the Bulldogs in the red zone now, actually inside the 15 of the Eagles. So the Eagle defense doesn't want to get overconfident here. There's still a lot of time left in this game.
Wigger's going to roll out to the right, throwing and overthrowing the intended receiver inside the 10. And it'll set up 2nd down and 10 from the 14. Wigger looks like he's got a pretty good arm. I wonder where he was in the first half. Although it was only 14-3 then, and perhaps Waterloo thought they could still stay in the game with the running attack. But we haven't seen him run much here in the second half since the Eagles put up 2 quick touchdowns.
Yeah.
Second and 10 from the 14. Waterloo with the football. And they give it straight ahead to Laley, and he is pulled down almost immediately. It's going to be another tackle for a loss. Back to the 16. That was Lopez again. We've seen him make a few plays on defense tonight.
Yeah, he has just been blowing up the offensive game plan at the defensive line spot.
How big is he? He looks like he's tackling a man much bigger than he is.
He's listed at 5'11", 230. So he's probably about 5'9", 210 pounds.
He doesn't look 5'11". How big is Ladley? He looks like he's 6'4".
Ladley's listed at 6'1", 215 and looks bigger than that.
And they throw it to him in the flat. He catches it at the 10, ran over one Eagle player. Penalty flag flies. He's inside the 5, but I think this penalty might be against Waterloo.
It may be. They've drawn the laundry quite a few times here tonight. The Eagles, I think, only once.
No, actually, they're going to pick the flag up. So it'll be a first down inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line.
First and goal, Bulldogs.
Well, typically this Eagle defense is sort of has the mentality bend, don't break, and they've done a great job here tonight shutting down this running game. And have really been dominant almost in their front 7, controlling the line of scrimmage. But just a couple of yards here. Oh, we got a flag.
Now we have another flag, and let's see what this one is. Illegal procedure against the Bulldogs.
Oh, that's the break the Eagles were looking for. This is the extra space their defense needed to help keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone.
That'll move it back to the 9, where it will be still first and goal. 8 minutes exactly left in the game. Now the clock starts. Waterloo doesn't seem to be that concerned about the fact that the clock is running. They're going to throw the football, though, and that's going to be a touchdown. They ran the little pick play that time, and Klein catches the ball at the 3, got a nice little pick or block, whichever you want to call it,
right,
and took it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, nice pass delivered by the backup quarterback, Brett Wigger, or Wiggers, I should say, and gets Waterloo a 6, and awaiting the extra point here. I'm curious if they'll go for 2 to close the gap. No, they're going to go ahead and kick the extra point. or line up for that at least.
And
they
it's going
are
to be a
faking it.
fake. They're going to try to go for two. Wigger's going to throw. Now he's going to toss it up into the end zone, and no good as it goes out of bounds, incomplete. So the two-point conversion failed. And with 7:44 left to go in the football game, our scores, Civic Memorial 28 and Waterloo 9.
To a military family, a phone call home is priceless, but these phone calls are expensive. By donating a used cell phone through Cell Phones for Soldiers, Weber Granite City Chevrolet is helping U.S. service members get a free 60-minute calling card. Cell Phones for Soldiers addresses an everyday emotional need that everyone has experienced, the need to call home, to hear a familiar voice while far away. If you have a cell phone you're not using, please donate it to us at Weber Granite City Chevrolet for the Cell Phones for Soldiers program.
Ragusa drops to throw. Now lets it go deep down the left sideline. He's got top, and he makes a dandy catch.
Here's another steal by Bradley. Lumpkins all alone. He lays it in from.
Yeah! Woo!
Waterloo will get ready to kick off. And you were going to hold your thought, hold it until after the kickoff, and then we'll get it.
Okay.
I think your thought was the same thing I was thinking, but you can say it.
Onside kick for the Bulldogs here.
Probably so. And they will, and it won't work. The Eagles recovered it. Shashin, I think, recovered it at the 48-yard line of Civic Memorial. Now you've been holding that thought for a long time. Now you can let it go.
Well, my thought was the Bulldogs were going to go for an onside kick.
Oh, it was? Oh. I thought you were going to talk about the two-point play.
Oh, no, well.
Trying to figure out why they lined up
to
fake it and then go for two instead of just putting your big guy, Laidley, in the backfield, lining up from 2 yards out and just powering the ball. Why try the fake? I don't understand that.
Yeah, and we talked about during the break, if you're going to go for two, you might as well do that unless you had kicked a few extra points already tonight and we're trying to catch the defense off guard, which they were not caught off guard, nevertheless.
So, at any rate, the Eagles, after recovering the onside kick, have the football. Tobin's going to run the option and then keep it and get dragged down at midfield after a gain of about 1.
Now, I've seen the officials in a couple of games this year that I've done call the horse collar penalty, and that was as clear a horse collar as I've seen all year. Tobin was just literally dragged down by the back of his jersey.
Second and 9 for the Eagles. Clock running, getting near 7 minutes left to go in the game. The Eagles trying to take a big step towards a conference championship, although it's certainly still early. Tobin's going to keep it again and pick up a couple as he gets across midfield and is down at the 49. That's a gain of 1, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
Got an offensive line substitution here.
We're at the stage where you might start seeing a few clean jerseys into the game.
Yeah, J.D. Cox coming off and Cameron Costanzo coming up. Maybe Cox was in for Costanzo for an equipment thing.
3rd and 8 for the Eagles, who will probably go back to the air here. Tobin in the shotgun, taking a lot of time off the clock. Fakes the handoff and throws to Linton. Linton's going to pick up the first down. That play's worked all night long. He's across the 40 to the 39.
And they only ran it once in the first half. They ran it 5 or 6 times here in the second half, and it's gone for pretty good gain, at least a first down just about every time, including a nice long touchdown for Linton in the third quarter.
Linton now unofficially over 100 yards receiving. 5:50 left to go. 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the Waterloo 39. The Eagles want to make this a long drive if they can and take the time off the clock. Put more points on the scoreboard. Tobin keeps it. He's going to pick up good yardage as he gets across the 35. Down near the 30 before they throw him back. They're going to mark it all the way down to the 31. That's a 9-yard quarterback sneak.
Yeah, I expected the Eagles to do a lot of running on first down here, especially after they scored a second time here in the second half, to really kind of extend their drives and milk the clock a little bit, and that's just what they're doing. They ran on first and second down the last set of downs. Wouldn't be surprised if they go ahead and run it again here. It's 2nd and 2, and if you're going to keep picking up big chunks of yards like that, why? I don't even know why I'd throw the ball again. Just keep milking the clock and force Waterloo to stop your running game now.
2 backs in the backfield now with Tobin. Brown and Ricky in the slot. I think that's Steemack. And they complete the pass at the 30 and down to the 25-yard line.
Taylor
Emmerich with the catch, and that's good for another first down.
Emmerich doing that little bubble screen that we've seen Linton do here a half a dozen times tonight, and it goes for another first. And those plays are sort of like extensions of the running game, so a nice, easy, high percentage completion pass for Tobin, and he's looked a lot sharper here in the second half than he did in the first.
First and 10 from the 25 with 4:15 left to go. Tobin takes the snap, gives it to Ricky, breaks a tackle, dives forward near the 20-yard line. That's going to be close to a 5-yard gain.
Good job by Ricky, his second carry of the night, getting a decent chunk of yardage there out of the defense and the Eagles' offensive line. Probably a little fatigued by this time of the game, but running on adrenaline and opening up a good hole for him as they're inside 4 minutes now. I wonder if this is like their goal line formation with the 2 backs surrounding the quarterback for the Eagles.
They look over to get the play from the sidelines, taking a lot of time. Now they snap it to Tobin, and he gives it to Brown. Brown's going to be hit in the backfield, and he's going to lose all the yardage that Ricky just got on the first down.
Bring it to third down here, and another pickup, another first down pickup. It'll almost be the game. The ball's on the 25-yard line, so they need to get to a 15. They could still pick up 2 more first downs before a score. 2 more first downs, I would think they would maybe go ahead and kneel it.
If they get 1 more first down, they can just about kneel it.
Yeah.
Snap back to Tobin. He's going to put it in the air to try to pick up this first down, and Steemack's there, and that's going to be a touchdown. There's that little post pattern again, and it's a 25-yard touchdown. Tobin to Steemack. And that should be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's what Coach Townsend likes to call the kill shot there. It puts the game out of reach and means that there's really no way the other team's coming back on you. And with 2:29 to go and leading 34-9, the Eagles have their homecoming game wrapped up. And it's always nice to get a win on homecoming. It really makes the festivities the following day so much more fun when everybody can celebrate a win from the night before.
Brown's kick is good as the Eagles add another. 2:29 left to go in the game. Civic Memorial 35, Waterloo 9.
Ace Hardware in Bethalto is your helpful place. It's where you'll find more than 70,000 items in the store and even more online. It's where the people know how to solve your problems. It's where top brands like Benjamin Moore, Still, and Craftsman make your jobs go smoothly and with confidence. It's where hot buys sizzle each and every week. Ace Hardware in Bethalto is more than helpful. They save you time and money too. At Jack Schmidt Chevrolet in Wood River, we make car buying a breeze. A member of our sales team will assist you in selecting the perfect new or GM certified pre-owned vehicle, and we back it up with our guaranteed price policy. Our commitment to you continues after the sale with genuine Goodwrench service. So if you don't know where to get the best deal on quality vehicles and service,
You don't know Jack Smith! In Wood River, Illinois.
Brown set to kick off again. He's done it several times here in this game tonight as the Eagles lead 35-9 with 2:29 left to play. And I don't think there's maybe been one return all evening. And Waterloo will get to return this one from the 10 as the rest of them have sailed into the end zone. I think that's Culpepper. He's across the 20 to the 25. And that's where Waterloo will have it. And now it looks like lots of clean jerseys going out on defense for Civic Memorial.
Quite a few clean white jerseys as well for the Bulldogs. Looks like no Ladley, no Culpepper. Scratch that, Culpepper is still in. A lot of new faces and names out there for both sides as the Eagles have this one in the bag.
Wiggers back to throw. He's going to throw long, and it's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by the Eagles at their own 45. Let's find out who that young man is. Probably just into the game.
Wyatt Sutton, a sophomore defensive back and wide receiver. He's 5'9", 140 pounds, wears number 80. Gets in for some mop-up time and comes away with an interception. So he's greeted on the sideline by all of his teammates.
The rest of the defense out there are all fresh players as well, saying, well, we didn't get to stay out there very long.
But it's a good feeling. It's a good reason. So they're probably going to see some backups on the offensive side as well. Not even sure who the backup quarterback is for the Eagles. We've got Chris Henson.
Well, let's see. You're right about the backups. I don't recognize any of those numbers.
Zach Klostermeyer, Kyle Kirkpatrick, and Nick Vogel all listed as quarterbacks. So we'll see who it is.
24 or there's a 24 and a 25 both in the backfield. I can't tell which one's lined up behind the center.
Zach Klostermeyer's number 24. He's listed as a freshman quarterback. And it is Klostermeyer, the freshman.
Now the Eagles with a delay of game. I think they were trying to figure out what they're supposed to do out there. We're not used to being out there. And the coaches weren't helping with any signals on the sidelines.
So I would think here the Eagles will maybe run a running play. I won't be surprised if we see a kneel down, though.
2:16 left, and the Eagles have this one iced away. Running straight ahead is the new quarterback, Klostermeyer, and he gets across the 40 to the 41. That's a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 14, and now under 2 minutes left to go, and just running this one out. From the spread offense, shotgun again. Klostermeyer looks over to get the play. And he's going to keep it again and run straight ahead. Get some yardage out across midfield. That's a pickup of about 9.
He's a freshman listed at 6'1", 205 pounds. That's a big young man out there. And I would imagine that's probably the play call we're going to see for the remainder of this game is Klostermeyer just with the quarterback draw up the middle. If they do get a first down, well, I'm sure we'll see a knee.
3rd and 5 for the Eagles right at midfield. 1 minute exactly left to play in the game. The Eagles are going to move to 2-0 in the Mississippi Valley Conference, 3-2 on the season, and hand Waterloo its first defeat. Now the Eagles taking all the time that they can. Same play. This time not as good a result as it's going to be about a 4-yard loss. But the clock's going to continue to run down near 30 seconds. The Eagles will have to snap it one more time. And it's going to be 4th and 9. And about all they have to do is send Tanner Brown out there to punt the football. And this one will be over. And the Eagles will have a homecoming victory, a conference victory. The hardest part of the conference over with. and now they just have to keep from stubbing their toe the rest of the way, and the conference championship is certainly well within their grasp.
Absolutely, as Tanner Brown's going to take the snap and punt the ball away, and that'll call it a game.
Actually, he's not even going to have to, as the siren's going to go before he even has to snap it, and this game is over. Our final score from Bethalto's Civic Memorial 35, Waterloo 9. We'll be back to wrap it up after this. You're listening to 1570 Radio Sports.
RiverBender.com's live coverage of today's game is brought to you by Ace Hardware. Ace, the helpful place. Jack Schmidt Chevrolet of Wood River. If you don't know where to get the best auto deals, then you don't know Jack Schmidt. Alton Refrigeration, the first choice in quality HD TV and appliances. Quality Buick, GMC, Cadillac, serving the Riverbend for 52 years. Barry Macias, professional independent insurance agents. Roberts Ford, the value store since 1949. Gerard Fisher, American Family Insurance, all your protection under one roof. Alt Memorial Hospital, the best healthcare close to home. Tom Lane State Farm, your good neighbor agent in the Riverbend. Weber Granite City Chevrolet, buy American.